Okay guys, so we're going to put some active dry yeast into a cup of warm water and get the butter for the recipe melted. So it calls for 2¼ teaspoons of active dry yeast, 3/4 of a cup of warm water, and then I'm going to melt a quarter cup of butter, a quarter cup of sugar, half a cup of sourdough discard, half a teaspoon of salt, 2½ cups of flour, and then egg for egg wash. So that is our ingredients. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, really the only thing I measure is my flour and water because I don't want it to be too wet. Other than that, I don't measure. Y'all don't judge. So like there's how because I'm gonna add sourdough discard. Again, no measurements. So, bam, a little bit more. Alright, so there we go. So now I'm done with my discard and I can put that back in the fridge. But this is how much is in the bottom of my bowl. So, a little more than a half cup, but I don't, that's what we're gonna say. I measure with my heart. Mix this in real good. And then I'm also going to go ahead and add my quarter cup of sugar here. That way, it can have plenty to munch on.
Life like a song, healthy habits all along. Take care of you, I do. Healthy habits.
So now we're going to go in and add the 2½ cups of flour. 1, 2, and a half. Okay, so now again, salt. And this time I'm actually going to add in some smoked garlic powder just for the purpose of what I'm doing this for. I want it to have a little bit of garlic flavor. So, make sure that kind of gets moved around. My butter is melted and cooled. And now my yeast is ready. So I'm going to yeast and water. And now I'm going to put this in my stand mixer. And we're going to let it do its thing for about 5 minutes. And let it get the dough nice and firm, moved off the sides. And I will show you when we get done with that part.
Life like a song, healthy habits all along. Take care of you, I do.
Okay, so for the most part, she's doing really well. But I want to add just another little bit of flour. For my environment, personally, I need just an extra bit. So I got a teaspoon, and it's maybe about half a teaspoon. And that's just going to help it finish coming together so that it gets that, most of the sticky off. And it has done just that. It is no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl. So I'm going to give this just another minute and then I'm going to pull it out. It's had another minute to go and we are going to stop it. I'm going to get it out on the counter and double check. Look, y'all. Holy moly. And yes, I washed my hands. It smells amazing with that smoked paprika in it. Oh, there goes the rain, y'all. So I'm going to knead it just a little bit more, just because I want to make sure that everything is, oh my God, it smells like heaven, well incorporated. And now I'm going to grab a bowl. I'm going to grease it up. And then I'm going to pop this in it for just a little while and let it rise. We're going to take some good old regular old Crisco on your fingers just like your granny used to. And coat the inside of the bowl. Make sure that anywhere it might touch is good and coated. This keeps it from getting stuck in your bowl. And it will proof beautifully. Now we transfer the baby over to the bowl. Ta-da! And it's going to sit here for 60 to 90 minutes or until it doubles. And P.S. Everybody else out here being fancy, we just going to wrap it up in a Walmart bag and call it done. See y'all in 60 to 90 minutes. Alright, y'all. So now we have dough. that is ready to be cut into rolls. So now we are going to cut it down. I cut it in half, then into quarters, and then we're going to divide it into eighths. And then as I get ready to roll it, I'm actually going to cut it down into one more section so that it makes some nice rolls, but not giant rolls. And again, we're going to grease the pan. This is usually the space where most people would use parchment paper, but when you don't have parchment paper, you can use Crisco, lard, anything you have on hand. Okay, so now as they get rolled out, we can take them and add them to the sheet pan.
Playing life like a song, healthy habits all along. Take care of you, I do.
Alright guys, so here we go. These are the rolls. I got them in the oven at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so they actually go in the stove for about 20-ish minutes, and then they'll go in the oven for about 20 minutes. So, I'm going to clean up on this, and I'll see you guys next. Alright y'all, so before anybody digs in, here's how they look completed. I'm not going to rub them down in butter or anything, because we're fixing to eat them directly off this pan. They're going to be so yummy, y'all. Till next time, bye.